In the personal story segment tonight, fans of TV chef Paula Deen are rallying to her defense after the Food Network gave her the boot for using the N-word. During a deposition for a lawsuit, Deen admitted she'd used the racial slur. She's now publicly apologized several times. So did the TV network overreact, or were Deen's statements simply unforgivable? Joining me now, Dr. Steve Adubato, a media analyst, and from Washington, Bishop Harry Jackson, pastor of the Hope Christian Church in D.C. Steve, let's start with you here.
Sure.
Look, this happened in a deposition. It was very odd the way the whole thing came out. Just give us the brief background.
Brief background is she didn't handle this well. More than anything else, people say things. They say stupid things. The question is about Paula Deen. She didn't handle it from a media point of view. She was asked, have you ever said the N-word in the deposition? Her answer was, of course I've said it. That was the first problem.
Right.
The second thing is, when you have a major network interview that you sign up for, which she did on another network, she didn't show up for that, and then she did what I call hostage videos, videos in which she tries to defend herself. Well, she looked terrible.
Yeah,
well, she looked terrible.
Yeah.
It didn't come across really well. And then what she did was she added to it. And here's what I mean. She started talking about her great-grandfather, and he had slaves. And she said they were workers, and he lost everything that he cared about when he lost his workers. She meant those slaves, but she said, you don't understand. They were really like family. Here's my point. When she wasn't talking about food, high cholesterol, high-fat food, and she was talking about race and slavery, she got in trouble. I'm sure she's a very nice person. She got into an area that got her in trouble. The sponsors, the network said, we don't want any part of it. It's business. It's not personal with them. You know. It's bottom line economics. She got hurt in this.
And Bishop Jackson, what of this ability to forgive people? It seems like all sorts of celebrities that are forgiven for really reprehensible conduct. We have people that are forgiven after torturing dogs. People have been involved and accused of rape. I don't have to go down the list of bad actors, but there's a lot of it out there. This is certainly a horrible thing that she said. What do you make?
Lauren, I think it is bad, but we're not getting any redemptive process from this. In South Africa, remember that Desmond Tutu had a Truth and Reconciliation Commission, helped really transform the nation. Here we've been fighting this, the nappy-headed, quote, comment that we had from Imus. Things of that nature have been horrific. But I believe we could challenge Paula Deen to go through just a little classes. I don't want to be really invasive, but should give money to various programs that could help African Americans, some shows on the heritage. I think there's a redemptive side of this. The church has got to lead the way. I think we've been too passive of saying Sunday morning is the most segregated hour of the day. In our church, we have 22 nationalities that worship together. And I believe that if we'll engage the culture together and actually talk and interact.
Well, here's the problem. This is radioactive, though. This is what happens is you become radioactive. And there's frankly forgiveness for all sorts of bad actions out there.
A lot worse than this.
But if you say something like this, even if does she have any history? I must say I don't watch Paula Deen, so I don't know
I don't either, but I will tell you this.
But does she have a history of racial?
She has absolutely no history of doing anything to be discriminatory. Here's the problem. When she says that she wanted her 2007, the marriage of her brother, to be a plantation-like event where African Americans, she used the N-word, were dressed up, young boys. Yes, she did. She said that if they were dressed up in white shirts and black pants, it would be a real Southern wedding. Here's the thing. I agree with you on the redemption issue, Bishop. Here's the problem. If you're a sponsor and just Smithfield Foods just dropped her, QVC is going to drop her, you can understand a network and you can understand a sponsor saying, listen, we'll forgive her later, but we're not going to put our economics on the line. It's business.
I see it, but all I'm saying is there's probably another chapter here. People
down the road, yes.
Yeah, people have new chapters all the time.
There should be.
There are a lot of professional sports players out there.
A lot worse than this.
Yeah, a lot worse than this. Criminal activity. And Bishop, do you hope she comes back if this is it for her in television for a while?
No, I would hope she'd come back, and I hope, again, she would walk out this redemptive process for our benefit. 50 years after the March on Washington, still got race problems, even with a black president. It's time for us to collectively take action.
Well, something good maybe can come of it. That would be a nice thing.
I hope so.
Steve and Bishop Jackson, thanks so much.